It's week 1 of Pokemon John Draft League and my first opponent is awesomeAD. The Pokemon I'm most concerned about is his Toxapex, Gastrodon, Greninja, and Kingambit. Toxapex can set up toxic spikes and is an extremely tanky Pokemon that can play the toxic style game. Gastrodon is just as tanky, a Terra Captain with the potential to turn into the fire and grass type, and has the Storm Drain ability to soak up water moves and get a special attack boost. Kind of a problem since my entire team revolves around rain. Greninja is way too fast and can get some quick pivots with Protean boosted flip turns and U-turns. And Kingambit has some incredible comeback potential, getting a boost from every fainted ally from their Supreme Overlord ability and can reverse sweep my team if I'm not careful. Which is why this week I'm bringing Kilowattrel, capable of fast volt switches and U-turns to gain momentum. I need both this week since my opponent has a ground type and is also the reason we're holding the Life Orb instead of the Choice Specs for an extra damage boost and to get around the ground immunity. I also have Hurricane and Thunder, which aren't the most accurate of moves but is 100% accurate in the rain, which is also why I'm bringing Politoed. Of course they can set up the rain with their Drizzle ability and I could use the Damp Rock for an extra 3 turns of rain, but I'm trying to get as many turns of rain as possible, which is why I invested max bulk into Politoed as well as gave him the eject button to be switched out of battle as soon as he takes a hit. And then maybe he can get sacked later after he sets up the rain again. He's not coming to this battle to do damage, but merely try to tank hits, pivot and set up the rain again, and maybe pull off some gimmicks with Encore and Focus Punch if I'm able to pull it off. The rain will also help support my Archaludon with their signature move Electro Shot that gives him a special attack boost. But of course, the Gastrodon poses a big problem, being immune to this move and can deal super effective damage with an Earth Power. So that's why I have him holding the Eject Pack to always switch me out after dropping a Draco to be able to get off some huge damage and punish him if he wants to use a ground type move. He's also not affected by Toxic Spikes and has the ability Stamina to power up the move Body Press, which just so happens to be quad effective against Kingambit. I have Basculegion with the ability Adaptability to be able to rip some ultra powerful Last Respects to potentially reverse sweep his team if I can somehow find a way to take care of his Kingambit first. He's also holding the Choice Scarf to always outspeed a max speed Greninja. This way I can always use a flip turn to gain momentum and go into my next Pokemon. Sneasler is trained to be a bit bulkier and slower than usual. I'm trying to take advantage of their ability Unburden, which doubles their speed when their held item is consumed. So I have Close Combat that normally reduces my defenses, but not only can I restore the stat drops with the Wider, but now I can outspeed max speed Greninja and probably tank a hit or two that I normally wouldn't. I also have Swords Dance to punish pivots, as well as Dire Claw for status shenanigans and the move Acrobatics, which doubles in power as soon as my held item is consumed. And this just so happens to be powerful enough to knock out and annihilate from full health. And lastly, he's able to soak up any toxic spikes, which is actually the opposite of what I want to happen with my Terra Captain Arboliva. I do intentionally want to get poisoned this week to be able to counter Gastrodon's ice beams and not get frozen. I can use Strength Sap to stay healthy and even take advantage of our ability Seed Sower, which gets up Grassy Terrain for 5 turns to provide passive recovery and boost our Giga Drains. But what I'm really hoping for is an opportunity to use Alluring Voice to proc our Throat Spray and give us an additional attack boost. We can combine this with Terastallizing into the Fairy type to survive a Kowtow Cleave from Kingambit and retaliate with an Earth Power of our own. Yeah, you can tell I'm terrified of this thing. But that's my team this week, so let's get right into the battle. Hey, what's up? It's Pokemon John and it's my first ever Draft League season. This is our inaugural season and this is my first game. I'm playing against awesomeAD. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think it's going to be a ton of fun. All right, so this is the team he chose to bring against me. Hopefully you saw the previous week's video of what he could possibly have had. And I thought he was going to bring a Toxapex, but he totally didn't. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for me, but I know that this Gastrodon, I did so many mocks with this thing and every time there's no way I could get rid of it quickly. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to be able to do here, but hopefully, he makes a mistake somehow, some way, and switches it in on like a Giga Drain or something like that, but I guess we'll see. All right, so he's leading with Metagross, and I'm leading with Kilowattrel. Fun fact, this is our second battle. Our first one didn't go so well. We hit a 20-minute time cap, but this one we found a way for a 60-minute time cap, so we got it going. I have a feeling he could switch into Gastrodon. I think I'm okay with that because it would just like reset the turns. But I'd really like to get some damage off on a Metagross, especially because I think their special defense is a little bit worse. Yeah, okay. But now what is he going to do? So, looking at his team, he's brought the Kingambit, which I'm not thrilled about. He brought... My counter for this is Basculegion. The problem is I'm Choice Scarfed. But I think for some reason I think I'm okay with that. So I guess there's also Archaludon, but I don't think I want to waste that yet. But I guess I'm just going to try to go for Basculegion and try to get off like a last respect and see how much damage I can do. Okay, so he's using agility. I'm holding a choice scarf. I don't know if I'm still going to be faster, but we're gonna find out. I have no idea if this is going to KO or not. I should probably calc this. Psychic Fangs. Okay, so I did a lot of damage. I'm not super happy about that, but I took him out. Okay, so that's okay. So, all right, I still have Basculegion, not that much health though, because I feel like he's gonna try to set up Stealth Rock with his Gastrodon at some point, or Superior. So he could go for a grass move. I feel he could Leech Seed me, he could set up a sub, he could Leaf Storm me. I think you counter him pretty well, but I guess I don't want him to set up a sub for free or Leech Seed me. I guess those are my two concerns. And he can't set up a Leech Seed on a grass type, and then I have Alluring Voice, which actually bypasses Substitute. Watch my shorts. Leaf Storm. Okay, so I did like nothing. He probably has Contrary. Yep, okay, so it's confirmed that he has Contrary and Leaf Storm. So I'm powering up his grass moves. Great. Love to see it. Okay, so there's no way he wouldn't take that. Now, I bet he could go for... Okay, so here's the problem. So I bet he could go for a Substitute, and like I was saying, I could bypass it with an Alluring Voice. He could also switch to Magnezone. So I could call it. Or I could say that you're going to switch to Charizard. That would be an aggressive call. Do I want to make him switch though? That would burn my Throat Spray. I kind of want that. I kind of want to leave my Throat Spray, but what do I do, right? I guess I'm just gonna... I'm gonna burn it. Okay, so I overthought it big time. No big deal. Okay. So this is totally fine because I'm gonna use Alluring Voice. Yeah, it breaks through the sub. And would you say that with the special attack boost I would KO next turn? He's also gonna get the grassy terrain recovery. Alright, so here's like the thing. I could call a switch, or I could always get damage. I could get... I think I'm just gonna go for Alluring Voice again. He's got a Substitute up, so... Substitute, I think it's Substitute. Alright, he's got a Substitute up, so there's no reason to not go for the Alluring Voice. It at least damages everybody. He's going for Synthesis. So he's trying to heal it, so he's trying to stall me out. I think I feel okay with that. Because how much is this going to do now? It almost does half. I wonder if he would consider switching now. I kind of want to go for the Earth Power to call like a prediction, because like what could he go into, right? If he goes into the Charizard, it would be like a waste, but I have a counter for Charizard if that happens. So I think maybe this also breaks the sub too. I'm at full health. What do you consider switching? Yeah, let's just call these gonna... He's not considering switching. That does a lot of damage. And you got another special attack boost. Alright, hopefully this breaks the sub at least. Okay. So I got that going for me. So now the question is, how many more turns of terrain are there left? This is going to be the last turn of terrain. I wish I had Protect. Like, because he's probably going to go for another Leaf Storm. I don't want to sack my Arboliva. He could miss. He could try to set up another sub. I think I have to make a switch. Alright, so here's one of my secret plans. So I'm going to switch to Politoed. I can't sack my Arboliva, honestly. This would be my only attempt at rain, which my team is like centered around rain, so that would be horrible. if I'm honest. Yeah, so this is probably going to KO Politoed. Yeah, that's okay. So he is going to be at full +6 special attack, and I think that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is... Okay, that's the last turn of terrain. That's totally fine. I'm going to go to Kilowattrel. And the thing about Kilowattrel is hurricanes are always 100% free. I think I'm faster. Yeah, it would suck with... I'm just going to go for the hurricane. Yeah, and this should take him out, right? Okay, perfect. Crisis averted. I think in hindsight I should have gone for Giga Drain instead of Earth Power because I could have given it a special defense boost, which would be awful, but that's okay. Crisis averted. And I only lost my Politoed, but I only have so many turns. So he's probably going to set up a light screen now. That's not good for me. So of course I could Volt Switch. I bet this thing has Sturdy. Is close combat free into everybody? I feel like it is. Because I could go to one of you two. I don't want to do that yet because you could send in your Kingambit. Okay, so let's think this through. So I got a Volt Switch here. There's no way to think about it, but Volt Switch, okay, decent damage. I know it's going to do much, but I think if it has Sturdy, it's going to... That's like the purpose of it, right? I don't know if he's packing Thunder over like Thunderbolt or Thunder Wave or something like that. So I'm going to go into Sneasler. And I'm going to set up a Swords Dance. Yes, okay, so we set up a light screen. So this is pretty much a free switch because we're a physical attacker. So I think he's probably going to Volt Switch now because I could take his Magnezone with a close combat. Now the only two that he could switch into, I think Swords Dance is going to be very effective here. So I'm just going to go for a Swords Dance. I hope he goes for a Volt Switch or something like that. I got to check at some point to see if he's holding the Light Clay for 8 turns of light screen or not, but we'll see. My heart's like pounding. It's pathetic, it's Pokemon. You know, it's my draft league because I want to do well in it, right? Of course, I don't want to lose my first draft league game ever. Okay, so he withdraws. So this is pretty much a free Swords Dance. Okay. So does Charizard... Is Charizard able to take out... And then my Sneasler. Okay, so Dire Claw, if I'm +2, do I always kill? If I have +2, I think I always kill Charizard. And then if you do like Air Slash or something... There's no way you're faster. I do want to get my Unburden speed boost though. But I think I'm just going to Dire Claw it. Yeah. Because you could get a free switch back into Matt. You're faster? Don't flinch. Don't flinch. How are you faster? No way. You have to be Scarfed then, don't you? Oh, you know what it is? I didn't do that much speed investment, but I guess my HP investment paid off. He's gonna Sucker Punch me now? I feel like the only reason why you go into this Pokemon is because you can Sucker Punch me. And the question is, like, do I want that to happen? You know? Because a Sucker Punch, although not very effective, you get that boost. Yeah, so I guess I'm just going to go into Archaludon and call you on the bluff on the Sucker Punch. If not, I'm going to get a +1 defense boost with Stamina. Shiny Archaludon looks so good. Sucker Punch, perfect. We called it right. Okay. So, there's no way he's just going to give me this Kingambit, right? All right, so here's tech number 2. I like save these techs. I know he knows that I'm gonna body press. Kingambit is not a Terra Captain, right? Where did I put that spreadsheet? Kingambit, awesomeAD is not. His only Terra Captain is Charizard, and it's down. Okay, so I guess I just don't see him give me his Kingambit, so I'm just gonna Draco Meteor. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're calling another switch. Now, I always get like a little anxiety because it's only 90% accurate. Okay, please hit this. Yes, all right, perfect. So we hit the Draco. How did that not do anything? Oh, light screen, okay. Light screen. That kind of sucks, but that's okay. All right. So, I guess I'm wondering, would an Ice Beam take me out or should I Terra? Because the thing is, I don't want to like not Terra and like lose the game because of it, right? So like Ice Beam is only going to do a third, it says. But let's see if you're like hypothetically just trained. It only does half, not even half. So I think I'm going to use this opportunity to Strength Sap because maybe he switches, right? Or he Terraslize. He can Terraslize in the Fire type. All right, so I'm Strength Sapping. If he Terra Blasts me, dude, I'm going to kick myself in the nuts if he doesn't. Oh, he's Grass. Okay, he's slower than me. Okay, I get back to full health. What's he using? Stealth Rock. I can live with that. That's totally fine. What's my other move that I have? Earth Power? That's not going to do nothing. So like... But now you can just like spam Ancient Power, which I don't love. And then I have an accurate Hurricaner now because my Drizzle Setter's dead. You're probably not good yet. I think you died to Stealth Rock damage now, which is kind of unfortunate. But I guess I just Alluring Voice now. What is he gonna do? Just Ancient Power me and get all these Omni Boost? Oh my gosh, that did nothing, dude. Yeah, he's gonna Ancient Power me. And then I'm giving him extra healing. So this is a bad situation for me. I'm not gonna be able to confuse him. Because if he just Ancient Powers, then I'm just kind of, I would have to sack him. This wouldn't be, I don't know if this would be good. That might force him out. But I could just flip turn. Let's see, what do I want to do? Because I don't like... I guess I have to do it quick before he gets the Ancient Power boost. But yeah, alright. I guess we'll see if you survive it. If not, like, I don't know what else I'm gonna do. Try to send in this Sneasler and hopefully Stealth Rock doesn't take him out. Interesting! He also withdraws. Magnezone. I get a little healing back. But I want to go for a last respects. Okay, light screen's off. That's probably why I told myself I was going to be checking on the board state more often. And I think that was only 5 turns, so I don't think that he is, what's it called? I don't think he's has Light Clay. But I think we go for last respects now. I could flip turn. Flip turn. But if I, let's just say I flip turn, like, then what, you know? I just Volt Switch? What am I going to do? But I think last respects at least gets damage off on everybody, right? Good damage, yeah. Okay. Volt Switch probably sacks me, yeah. I could have gone into Kilowattrel maybe and got like Volt Absorb from it. But at least this lets me know like who he's going into. Right? Gastrodon. Alright. So now he's at full health, so that's great. Okay, I guess this is probably the only time I'm going to see if he survives Stealth Rock. Let's see if the HP investment paid off. It did! Okay, so he could go into Kingambit, which would be like really scary. So I think the only chance I have, because that's why I don't want to, you can go to Kingambit or Magnezone. So I think the only chance I have is to close combat, because that at least does neutral damage to everybody. And I need some damage off on you desperately. Okay. Yeah, and then you're going to take me out probably with an Ancient Power then. Yeah, this doesn't matter anymore. Unless you do something dumb and miss, Earth Power. Okay, I probably would have done the Ancient Power to try to get the 10% Omni boost, because like, why not at that point, but that works too. Okay, so I know I use my Archaludon, but the question is, if Archaludon uses Body Press with no boost, it only does like a 6th? He has more than a 6th left, so I guess like Kilowattrel has to be it. Alright, let's think of this. If I'm going to use Kilowattrel to do a Life Orb U-turn, that would do 10%. That wouldn't be enough. I think I have to gamble. No, or I could do Volt Switch. How much does Volt Switch do? Well, he's Terastallized, so... Terra, Grass, yeah. So Volt Switch would do like a 14%. I think I'm going to gamble it. Please hit. Yes! Oh my goodness. I hate clicking 70% accurate moves, but I got so lucky. Alright. So things are going well. Maybe I should have Dire Clawed back then. I think I still would have lost to Sucker Punch, but... Okay, so Grass is gone. So he's not going to be able to heal anymore, which is good, of course. Magnezone. Was he going to set up a light screen, you think? Because light screen's not into effect. I would get one more opportunity with you. I could go to you. That would be good. Yeah, you know what? I think I can Volt Switch and just go into Archaludon, and then Archaludon can close out the game with Body Presses. How much damage is going to... No way! Well, what do we do now? Okay, so I'm back and I'm here to tell you that me and awesomeAD met offline. We talked about what turns we would have made after that match ended, and it turns out that regretfully he would have won the match. So I'll take you through a recreation of what we think would have happened. So after I Volt Switched into Magnezone, I would have brought out my Archaludon, but to my demise, he would have set up a Reflect. And I was wrong earlier because he was actually holding the Light Clay, which means that this would be up for a full 8 turns. My Body Press would prove to be enough to KO the Magnezone through Reflect, but Kingambit would prove to be too bulky. Because even though it's quad effective, I do very little damage as he sets up a game-winning Swords Dance. Because after another failed attempt to knock him out with another Body Press, he would have KO'd me with a Kowtow Cleave. And then I would bring in Arboliva and Terastallize into the Fairy type, but it would prove to not be enough because a Kowtow Cleave from a Kingambit with a +2 attack, 5 allies fainted for an extra Supreme Overlord boost, and the Black Glasses is still enough to KO Arboliva even though they're not very effective. And then Kilowattrel, of course, gets damaged by Stealth Rock and taken out with a Sucker Punch. So good job, awesomeAD. We'll see you next week for hopefully I can be 1-1.